Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping into one of the biggest detective stories of all time. I'm talking about the big one. Who are we? And where in the world did we really come from? The source material we're digging into today pulls together some absolutely incredible clues, from ancient ruins to mystical texts to paint a picture of our history that is, well, truly cosmic. Okay, let's get into this. So it all kicks off with a question that has just stumped everybody for centuries. You look at these unbelievable ancient structures, built with an engineering skill we'd struggle with today, and you just gotta wonder, how on earth did they pull it off? We're told they didn't have iron tools, no modern lasers or measuring devices, and definitely no heavy machinery. And look, this isn't just one or two weird spots. We're talking about a global phenomenon here. From the gigantic laser-cut stones of Sacsayhuaman in Peru, some of which scientists say actually look like they were melted together by some kind of intense heat, to the famous statues of Easter Island, and of course the pyramids of Giza. They all completely defy any logical explanation, at least based on the tech we think they had. So let's call that clue number one: impossible engineering. Okay, so that's the physical evidence. But here's where the mystery really deepens. It's when you stop looking at the stones and start listening to the stories. Because when you ask the ancient cultures themselves who built these things, they all tell a surprisingly similar tale. Yep, you heard that right. From the Incas to the Egyptians to the ancient Hindus, their legends claim that gods came down from the heavens, and they came in what could only be described as flying machines and just moved these massive stones into place. Now, most experts will tell you this is all just simple mythology, but the source material we're looking at says, no, wait a minute, this is our second crucial clue. And this just lays out the pattern perfectly. Take a look. The Assyrian god Ahura Mazda, he's shown riding in a flying sphere. The Egyptians, they talked all about the sky boats of the gods. And the ancient Indian Vedas describe these Vimanas, which they believed were actual flying machines that could travel to other planets. These cultures were separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years, yet somehow they were all describing advanced aerial technology. So we've got these impossible structures, and we've got a worldwide story about sky gods. How in the world do we connect those dots? Well, this is where our sources make a really fascinating jump. They bridge these ancient legends with information from more modern channeled texts, books like the Urantia book and the Keys of Enoch, which are said to be psychically received from, non-physical or even extraterrestrial intelligences. And across all these different texts, one term just keeps popping up: the Elohim. Now, these aren't your typical gods from mythology. No, the texts describe them as highly advanced creator beings who came to Earth specifically to seed life. They were the original architects, the masterminds behind the genesis of our planet. And what was their masterpiece creation? The Adam Kadmon, or the Adamic race. This was supposed to be the original blueprint for humanity, a pure, spiritual, physical being designed to literally hold angelic energy in a physical body. Think of it as a perfect expression of the divine, right here on Earth. This was humanity in its original, pure, uncontaminated form. But, as these stories always seem to go, something went terribly, terribly wrong. A catastrophic event took place that completely severed our connection to that divine origin. An event that a lot of traditions simply call the fall. This is the moment that explains what the sources call humanity's great forgetting. So here's how it all went down according to these texts. First, you have a rebellion. A faction of these creator gods, these Elohim, decided to break the rules of the higher cosmic councils. Then they chose to physically procreate with the pure Adamic humans on Earth. This interbreeding totally contaminated the pure genetic code, which led to chaos and warfare. And as a result, these rebels were banished to Earth, stripped of their immortality, and forced into the cycle of human reincarnation. And get this isn't just coming from one source. Look at the parallels here. The Keys of Enoch talks about rebel lords of light and a contamination of the gene code. The Urantia book, which was written completely independently, describes Earth being quarantined and cut off from all interplanetary communication. You've got two totally different sources telling the exact same fundamental story: rebellion, contamination, and isolation. So the result of this fall was absolutely crucial. Earth was basically put under a cosmic quarantine. Our universal language got fractured. Think of the story of the Tower of Babel. We lost our access to the higher cosmic records, and we became so entangled in physical matter, in the day-to-day, that we completely forgot our divine origins. We forgot who we really were. Which brings this entire cosmic detective story to its final and frankly mind-bending conclusion. After connecting all the dots, the ancient structures, the global myths, the esoteric texts, the source material arrives at an absolutely stunning revelation about our true identity. The answer is as startling as it is simple. We are them, the fallen angels, the creator gods who were banished to Earth, the very beings who forgot their immortality. That's our story. That's who we are. So what does that actually mean to say we are them? Well, it can mean one of two things, or maybe even both. The first is genetic, that we are the direct physical descendants of this cosmic interbreeding. But the second possibility is on a much deeper spiritual level, that our very souls are the reincarnations of those original banished beings. And we're living out these human lives as part of a long, long journey to remember who you are and find our way back to the source. Now, this might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's an idea that you actually hear echoed in the teachings of spiritual masters for thousands of years. The great sage Ramana Maharshi put it so plainly: your true identity is God. It's not something you have to achieve, it's just something you have to remember. Our whole job is to just own that fact. And so we are left with the ultimate question, one that turns this huge cosmic history into something deeply, deeply personal. If the fallen gods are us, and our divine nature is just sitting there, waiting to be remembered, then who really are you?